Hello everyone, it's Refresh, and I'm here to take a look at the Huatli Dinosaur Knight Planeswalker deck from Ixalan for Magic the Gathering. According to the back here, it says, for this deck, you are trying to summon massive dinosaurs and crush foes underfoot. The contents include a 60-card deck, 2 Ixalan 15-card booster packs, a dex box, a strategy insert, and a Magic Quick Reference card. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside. Alright, here's Huatli, just a little bent like a lot of these foils, but nice and shiny. And here we get a deck box with some cool art for Huatli and Huatli's name in the side. Let's take a look at what's inside. Here are 2 packs of Ixalan, just a little bit squished, but they do seem otherwise intact. We've got our quick reference guide here. And flipping it open, it seems like the standard quick reference guide that we've been getting since the Kaladesh block. It has a little bit of information about how to cast spells, what the different words on the cards mean, and a little bit about setting up the game winning and the different phases of the turn. This is not going to be enough to learn how to play Magic, so you really do have to have someone to teach you, or you have to learn by another means, but it's not bad as a reference to have next to you while you're playing if you're new to the game, so that you can follow all the phases of the turn as you are playing. But the use is fairly limited because in general you really do want to have someone or something a little bit more comprehensive teaching you how to play this game. And we have our strategy insert. This strategy insert is a bit smaller than previous strategy inserts. It tells you a little bit about how to play the deck, and so it gives you just a tiny bit of strategy. It does provide a little bit more information about the mechanics featured in the deck, including double strike, flying, and vigilance, so that's nice. And then it tells you a little bit more information about Huatli here. In terms of how to play Planeswalker cards, it just gives you a link to the website where it'll tell you further, so that's kind of weird. On the back is just ads and very little information, so they have really reduced the amount of information on this, and in the past this would come with a deck list, but now there's not even a deck list here, and I'm kind of disappointed on how little information is included here. It doesn't really give you any idea of how to play the deck, nor does it give you any information on how to improve the deck, nor does it give you a deck list of what's in the deck, and the entire back is spent on ads and no additional information. So I'm really displeased with how they've pared down this so-called strategy insert. But what about the deck? Let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, one of the rares that is featured in this deck is the Goring Ceratops, which is a 7 mana 3/3 dinosaur creature that has double strike, and whenever Goring Ceratops attacks, other creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn. It's kind of a lot of mana for a 3/3, although giving everything double strike is nice. I don't know how well this is going to pan out. We also have the Sunblessed Mount, which is a 5 mana 4/4, a little bit better in terms of mana stats for mana cost. Dinosaur creature. When Sunblessed Mount enters the battlefield, you may search your library and or graveyard for a card named Huatli Dinosaur Knight, reveal it, and then put it into your hand, and if you search this library this way, shuffle it. So this is Huatli's tutor card, and you get 2 of these. It's not a bad body, and it draws you Huatli, so that's not bad. The other rare that is included in this deck is the Burning Sun's Avatar, and in my experience this has been a pretty good body and effect. So what you get is a 6/6 for 6 mana dinosaur avatar creature, and when it enters the battlefield it deals 3 damage to target opponent and 3 damage to up to 1 target creature. So that's pretty cool. It looks like the sorting on these cards is a little weird, but it looks like Huatli's signature common is going to be Huatli's Snubhorn, which is a 2/2 with vigilance. Kind of funny that they included a 2/2 with vigilance in this set, because I believe that's also what you get in the following Rivals of Ixalan set as well, in the same colors, and so it's kind of funny that they duplicated that when they could have just, you know, copied this and put it in the other set, or vice versa. But that's a minor thing. It's just a very basic creature. Huatli's uncommon appears to be Huatli's Spurring, and it is an instant. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. If you control a Huatli Planeswalker, that creature gets +4/+0 until end of turn instead. So it's a 1-mana combat trick, and it's really just a damage booster. I'm not sure what its purpose is, except to, I guess, punch through or trade for bigger creatures at a 2-for-1, or maybe try to finish the game. I'm not really sold on this card. That's the deck. I'm not really excited about this deck. It doesn't seem to have much synergy within itself. Huatli herself is what you really are looking for, because she adds counters to dinosaurs and lets your dinosaurs damage other creatures. And also, if you get to her ultimate, all your dinosaurs get +4/+4 until end of turn. And the vast majority of creatures here are dinosaurs, so that's good. But again, there doesn't seem to be much binding these dinosaurs together. I mean, some of the non-dinosaurs get a benefit off of the dinosaurs, but that's it. And the uncommon is especially uninspiring, and so we'll see how the deck plays, and I will let you know when I get back from testing. So I've had a chance to play this deck, and it is ostensibly a dinosaur deck, but there are some real problems with how this deck works that makes it not quite as fun as I would hope that it would be. One of the problems right off the bat is that there are not many dinosaur synergies in this deck at all. In fact, there are only 4 cards that care about dinosaurs being in the deck at all. Kinjali's Color gives you a discount to your dinosaurs. Dinosaur Knight gives you a +1/+1 if it attacks and you have a dinosaur. The Pterodon Knight gets flying if you have a dinosaur. And Huatli herself does reward you for having dinosaurs by putting +1/+1 counters on your dinosaurs, or giving your dinosaurs the ability to bite their opponents. And her ultimate is also a boost to dinosaurs. But if you don't have her, and you don't have these other dinosaur reward cards, it's really just a bunch of vanilla or French vanilla creatures, and it's not really that exciting to play. So that's one problem. The other problem is I don't really know what this deck is really trying to do. It has a whole bunch of creatures. It has some spells that give it additional damage. I can't really tell if this deck is really an aggro deck, and it can't be because there's too many creatures in the upper curving cost, and like, you don't have a 7-drop in an aggro deck. But that's what this high level of 2-drops, and as well as these additional damage Huatli spurring spells would suggest. Aside from the theme of dinosaurs, there's just being a lot of dinosaurs in this deck, it just seems like a super generic Magic deck, and that's kind of disappointing. I mean, it's weaker than a deck that would have Llanowar Elves and this, being one of the standard green decks, some ramp and some bombs to run into. It's actually weaker than that, and less interesting than that. What's more, while this deck does a good job of integrating its main character with the theme of the deck in terms of the creatures that it has in it, it is also just not connected to Ixalan. Aside from the fact that there are dinosaurs in this deck, there is no Ixalan mechanic in this deck. Enrage isn't here. Can it rumble? Yeah, sure, in the sense that any generic creatures and tricks deck might rumble. And so it really makes it hard for me to suggest or recommend this deck for those that are looking for a real flavor of Ixalan, or for those that really want to feel like they're playing with dinosaurs. It's just a bunch of creatures that have dinosaur artwork and dinosaur text, but they don't really feel like you're playing with a bunch of dinosaurs. This should have been a ramp deck that ramped into a bunch of really big freaking monsters, and that would have made this deck feel a lot more like a dinosaur deck. I know that they don't want to share the colors with the rival Planeswalker deck, but I think that's what you had to have done if you wanted this deck to really feel like a dinosaur deck. I mean, Jace himself in the story is a pirate, and so you should have made Jace like a blue-black pirate deck, and then made this a green-red or green-white dinosaur ramp deck. And that, I think that would have made this deck feel a lot more like it had some identity besides just being a bunch of stuff to cast. So it's really hard for me to recommend this deck. It is so generic and kind of boring. I don't know. Let me know what you thought about this deck in the comments below. If this video was helpful to you, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more such videos, hit subscribe. This is Refresh. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.